Guys, I have to speak my truth. I never want to live with a man. Ever. I don't ever want to do it. Not if we're in a relationship, not if we're engaged, not if we're married. I don't want to do it. It just sounds like an overstimulating nightmare.
They say they love, but they don't want to share a roof. They say they want a man, but only from a distance. Today, you'll see women openly saying that living with a man is a nightmare. And maybe after this video, you'll understand why relationships are becoming emptier, colder, and more disposable.
Guys, I have to speak my truth. I never want to live with a man. Ever. I don't ever want to do it. Not if we're in a relationship, not if we're engaged, not if we're married. I don't want to do it. It just sounds like an overstimulating nightmare. Like, imagine you come home from work, a stressful day at work, and you open the door and you see another person just sitting there. That sounds so mean, but like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I feel like we should be able to live in the same building, but different apartments. Because then I can see you when I want to see you, but I don't have to see you every single day, 365 days. I don't have to see you, bro. We can interact, and then we can be like, okay, I need a break. I can go to my place. You go to your place. You play your stupid video games. I watch my movies. I relax. I read my books, right? I just, like, don't want to... I just don't want to live with a man. And people are like, won't you get lonely? No. I've lived by myself for almost 5 years. No. And then when they're like, oh, but, like, you don't want somebody to hold you at night? No, I get really hot when I sleep. I don't want you to hold me. It's actually really bad for me if you do. Because then I'll break out in a full-blown sweat. And we're both awake because you thought that I peed on you or something. But in reality, it's just me sweating literal bullets because you are on top of me. Get off of me. Get away from me. I don't like that. Maybe it's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm, like, avoidant. But, like, I don't like that. I need my space. I need my space, okay? I need space.
This statement reveals a total rejection of real intimacy and the daily closeness that actually builds a deep bond. She wants emotional benefits when it's convenient, but refuses to sacrifice patience and self-denial that every strong relationship requires. Turning a partner into someone who only appears on demand isn't emotional maturity. It's control, fear of commitment, and avoidance of imperfection, which is exactly what forces real growth in a relationship.
I want a man, but I don't want to live with a man. This is the problem that I'm starting to face, that I genuinely do not see a future of me living with a man. And I know that sounds horrible, but it's the truth. My ideal is have a relationship with someone and they love me that much that they respect my boundaries, that I don't want to live with them. I want to have a complex. I'm going to be that rich that I have a complex. And it's going to be 2 houses. They're close, but not too close. I can't see you out of my bedroom window, but I can walk 3 minutes down the road and you'll be there. We see each other when we want to see each other. And when I don't want to see you, we've had an argument, I can leave and I can get out. Because I think it's healthy that humans do have separation time. I think living with someone constantly is my idea of hell. Okay, imagine you had a bad day at work, you come home and there's someone else in your house. No! I feel like, am I wrong for feeling this way? Or like, am I ever going to find someone that thinks this is okay? Because every person I've mentioned it to, they've been a bit offended. And it's nothing to do with them. It's purely on the fact that I just simply don't like the idea of living with a man.
Here we see the illusion that constant distance equals emotional health, when in reality, many people use it as a shield to avoid fully giving themselves. Relationships aren't built only on personal space, but on presence, shared routine, conflict resolution, and joint construction of a life. When someone designs the entire relationship around escape, they're already preparing it to fail before it even begins.
I'm at the point in my life where I feel like men are here just for fun, as a way to pass time, as a way to do fun, cute things on your time when you're bored, when you feel like it. But I want to have that outside of my home. Like, I want to have my fun, and then I'm going to come home to myself, to my sanctuary, and I don't want you to come with me. No, I don't want to share space with a man. I don't want to live with a man. Like, having their things around and having to do things for them. Like, no. I want to have my little fun and then come home to my home. And I think that needs to be normalized. I feel like that is so unconventional nowadays. And I feel like everyone's end goal is marriage. And they want to be married so bad, to the point where women are proposing to men. Like, what the hell is going on? A man is never the prize.
This mindset turns men into temporary entertainment. disposable, useful only for fun, while she keeps her home as a sacred, untouchable territory. This isn't empowerment, it's dehumanization and an inability to truly share life. Rejecting commitment while criticizing marriage exposes a deep contradiction, wanting the pleasures of a relationship without accepting any of its responsibilities.
You cannot tell me that we as women are supposed to live with men for the rest of our lives. Like, you cannot convince me of that. Because the way I feel and the happiness and joy I feel living alone is unmatched. Like, I've lived with roommates before. I've lived with female roommates, and that's fine. I could probably do that. But I could never live with a man again. Like, I couldn't. I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, they just always eventually drive me insane. I always feel like they're invading my personal space. They're always, even if a man is like pretty clean, I just always feel like they're ruining the aesthetic of the space. Like, no matter what. Unless they're out of the house like 99% of the time and they really don't contribute to the overall decor and they're not in the house very much, I could never live with a man again. It's either I'm gonna live with a female roommate or friends, girlfriends, or I'm just gonna live alone for the rest of my life. Any other girls feel this way?
Here we see a mix of bad personal experiences with absolute generalization, treating every man as a space invader and even an aesthetic threat. This reveals a deeply broken view of coexistence, where the other is never seen as a partner, only as an obstacle. A relationship like this doesn't even begin fairly. It is already marked by rejection and an inability to accept natural differences between men and women.
This is the one. This is the one. When I tell them I never want to get married, they are fine with it. However, telling them I don't want to live with a man is where I see the shift in behavior. Facts. I've never wanted to live with a man. Never. Every single one of my relationships was together, living apart. I grew up as an only child. I've never had to share a goddamn thing. I have a routine. I have a schedule. I like to have my place be a certain way. And honestly, I do just kind of have these modes where it's like, I'll have clutter for a little bit and then I don't want to see clutter anymore for like a really, really long time. And I just like my space. Like, honestly, I just like my space. I tend to not be the clingy one in a relationship. I'll have my moments where I'm clingy, but I tend to not be the clingy one in the relationship. And it's funny because I literally just had a man tell me, he was like, me and you would never work out. And that's the reason why he said that it would never work out. And he literally told me, he was like, I would want to live with you and I would always want to be up under you. Like, I would always want to be up under you. And I'm like, yeah, that's why we couldn't work out, because I don't want someone that wants to be up all under me. I like having our little thing, having our little time, and then we go our separate ways. I don't want to bring it when we're coexisting together under one roof. I just can't do it. And once you understand that most relationships, most marriages are 50-50, you really understand why they take it so personal that you don't want to live with them. And also it forces them to be held accountable to be responsible for their own domestic labor. Like, we won't be living under the same roof because I'm not just going to be cooking for you and cleaning for you and doing all this stuff for you and allowing you to have access to my body whenever you think that you can have it. So this is actually a really, really good point that you mentioned, because yes, that is the shift. Personally, I believe that marriages and relationships will last a lot longer if men and women didn't live together.
Although she sounds more self-aware when talking about routine, boundaries, and domestic responsibility, there's still a clear rejection of the most basic principle of union: sharing life. By treating cohabitation as a loss of freedom and men as inevitable exploiters of her labor and body, she starts from a mindset of permanent conflict. That doesn't build partnership, it builds defense. And relationships built on defense don't last. They only survive until they collapse.